I thought it was just an old diary, but the moment I opened it, it found me. It's not in the book anymore. It's in me. I found it in the attic of a house my family just bought. Dust-covered, leather-bound, with a small brass lock. Curiosity got the better of me, as it always does. The lock was fragile, and it broke with a simple twist. Inside, the pages were filled with elegant, looping handwriting. It detailed the life of a woman named Elara from a century ago. It started with her daily chores, her secret love, her simple joys. But then the tone shifted. She wrote about a shadow that watched her, a presence that echoed her steps. She said it was feeding on her fears, growing stronger with every entry. The last page was just 3 words. It knows you. Now, when I close my eyes, I see a shadow in the corner of my room, and sometimes I hear it whisper my name. If you find an old diary in a deserted house, don't open it. Some stories aren't meant to be read. I took the diary home. It followed me. A true horror confession. I never believed in curses, possessions, or haunted objects. I grew up in the city, surrounded by concrete and streetlights, where the most terrifying thing I'd face was a flickering subway lamp. That all changed the day I found the diary. It started as a weekend getaway. I was driving through the countryside to escape work. A mix of overwork and insomnia had left me hollow. On the map, I noticed an unmarked village tucked between 2 hills. It wasn't listed on any guide, not even on Google Maps. Curiosity got the better of me, and I turned down the gravel road. The village was deserted. Broken cottages leaned sideways, paint peeling, windows shattered. At the center was a house, old, grand, and decaying, with ivy crawling up its stone walls. Something drew me to it. Maybe it was loneliness. Maybe it was the thrill of trespassing. The front door was unlocked. I pushed it open, and a gust of cold air swept past me, smelling of damp wood and mold. The floorboards creaked beneath my feet as I explored. Every room was empty except one, a study in the back, lined with bookshelves. On the floor, half covered by dust, was a small leather-bound diary. I picked it up, brushing off the grime. The leather was soft, warm almost, as if it was waiting for me. I flipped it open. The first page was blank, but the next contained handwriting, elegant, deliberate, and old-fashioned. If you are reading this, it is already too late. I laughed nervously. I shouldn't have. That night, I drove home with the diary on the passenger seat. The road was empty, the trees leaning over like silent witnesses. When I reached my apartment, I placed the diary on my desk, intending to look at it later. Sleep never came. At 3 a.m., I heard whispers, faint murmuring as if someone were speaking just behind my ear. I sat up. My apartment was empty. My door was locked. But the diary, it was open. The pages turned on their own, stopping at a passage I had never seen. I see you. I know your thoughts. Soon you will be mine. I dropped it. The whispers stopped, replaced by laughter, soft, feminine, echoing around the room. I tried to leave, but the apartment door wouldn't budge. Windows slammed shut. Lights flickered. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the walls. By morning, I felt different, hollow, like I was looking at the world through someone else's eyes. My reflection in the mirror wasn't quite right. My hair seemed longer, my eyes darker. But the worst part was the voice. My voice. It came from the diary. You can't hide from me. The following days were a blur. I became obsessed with the diary, reading each page even though I feared what it would do to me. The entries spoke of previous owners, all who had vanished mysteriously. One page had a photograph glued to it, a young woman standing in the same village I had visited. The caption read, "I tried to leave." The diary followed. Objects in my apartment moved on their own. My reflection sometimes stayed behind when I turned away. Whispers followed me everywhere. I started seeing her, the woman from the photograph, in the corners of my vision. She didn't move like a normal person. She lingered, watching, smiling, just out of reach. I stopped leaving my apartment. Friends called, but I couldn't answer. When I tried, the voice from the diary screamed through my own mouth. "Leave this place. Stay with me?" Weeks passed. My mind deteriorated. I began writing in the diary without realizing it, filling pages with my own memories that weren't mine. Sometimes I woke up to find the diary closed, open to a page I hadn't written, describing things I had done, places I had never been. One night, I dreamt of the village again. The house was intact, and the woman, or whatever she had become, stood at the window. She beckoned to me. I walked inside, and the air tasted like soil and decay. The diary lay on a table. As I approached, it opened by itself. "It's time," the page read. I woke up screaming. The apartment was silent. The diary lay beside my bed. Its pages were blank. For a moment I felt relief until I heard the whisper. "I am not in the diary anymore. I am in you." Since then, I have tried everything to get rid of it. I burned it, buried it, threw it into the river. But each time it returns, appearing silently wherever I am. I cannot escape. I see her in my reflection. I hear her in my thoughts. Sometimes I catch myself speaking in her voice, warning strangers about the diary. And now, writing this confession, I realize I am not the one in control. I write what she wants me to write. My mind is no longer mine. If you ever find an old diary in a deserted house, don't open it. Some stories aren't meant to be read. If this story sent chills down your spine, subscribe to Dark Thread for more true horror confessions. Have you ever felt like something was watching you through your own reflection? Comment below. I'd like to hear your experiences. Remember, some stories aren't meant to be read.